All right, please have Mr. Seifert say the prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this awesome day you blessed us with. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for our friends and our family, Lord. Thank you for our community. And Lord, we pray that you be with our fire chief, Stanley, tonight. And you just comfort him, watch over him, and heal him, Lord. And thank you so much for our community. Lord, we love you so much, and thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Now the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everyone. I guess we can have roll call, please.
Bucky Stevenson.
Here.
Lauren Wagner. Here. Mayor Donnie Pruitt.
Here.
Judy Coulter. Here. John Krasinski.
Here.
All present.
Welcome everyone. We'll just go ahead and get the meeting started. I guess the council's got an opportunity to look at the approval of the bills, so do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda or open it up for discussion?
I was just curious about the Brennan's phones and installation.
What page is that on?
Page 6.
Six.
I was just wondering what it was for.
That's that new phone system they put in. I
Okay.
think.
The new phone?
And that system went in every city office and building.
Okay.
And we will, and a little note, in the long run, we'll be saving quite a bit of money with that.
From where we started to where we are now, right at $28,000 a year.
Savings?
From all the things that we found that were left open, that needed closed, old fax lines. lots
Paying
of
for
things.
phones that we didn't even use no more.
Yeah,
So
about
we
$28,000
found
a year.
we found quite a bit of waste.
Fantastic.
So I need a motion, please, to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
How does it say it?
All right, moving on, I want to welcome Mr. Matt Miller with Health Engineering, and I want to thank you for coming tonight. He's going to talk about the Oak Street project out here and give us an update on that and how, what progress we're going through and how, the length of time it may take to get it done or whatever, but
Yeah, so I
go
don't know,
ahead, sir.
yeah, I don't know how much you want me to go into the history or,
No, we don't, everybody's pretty well, I think, knows the history. If we can just tell you your schedule,
Yep.
what the procedure we got to go through now.
great, perfect. So, I've got a couple maps I'll hand out. So as part of this project, we completed our field survey. We had our survey crews come out and take shots on all of the utility and stormwater infrastructure. So the project, the scope is to go from 3rd Street to 1st Street along Oak Street right out here in front of City Hall. And so we have surveyed that corridor. Then myself, I came down and met with Mayor Pruitt and members of your Public Works Department to go over the infrastructure in place, the existing box culverts, water, sewer connections. You guys have a lot of very interesting things going on. I think power poles going through the existing box culverts, so that was a new one for me. But I got to get a first-hand look at it, and then we also had another of our design engineers come down and look at some of the upstream infrastructure, because there's quite a bit of drainage improvements that have been done upstream of this area, so we want to make sure we're taking that into account in our design. So we've done all that field work. And what you see in front of you is kind of the culmination of that work, where we delineated the area that drains to the intersection of 1st Street and Oak Street. And so that is, as you can see there, about 141 acres of land in the city that drains to that point. And so that's a lot. I don't think I probably have to tell you that. But so that is what we're going to use, that information to kind of help us size the box culvert that we'll be replacing underneath Oak Street. and I've got another map. So as we looked at the infrastructure that was upstream, like I said, there are quite a few detention basins, there's culverts underneath the highway, and all of these things enter into the calculations we do to determine the size of the box culvert. You guys had a preliminary engineering report done when you got the grant for the project. And we want to make sure that what we're looking at in that report was sized properly. And so this map that I've handed out that's the breakdown of all the upstream infrastructure you have, right? So each of those individual drainage areas represents a pipe that the water goes through before it gets to Oak Street, or a detention basin that it goes through, and all those things enter into the calculation of how to size the infrastructure that we'll eventually be installing out here. So taking all of those things into account, I think that we have determined that either a 6x4 box culvert or an 8x2 box culvert was going to be necessary underneath Oak Street in order to pass the 25-year storm. So we kind of size these culverts based off of return periods of stormwater events, rainfall events, I guess is the term I'm looking for there. So a 25-year event is statistically a storm that will occur every 25 years. That's not necessarily the case. You could have a 25-year storm on 3 consecutive days, but statistically speaking, it happens once every 25 years. And so stormwater infrastructure is meant to be designed for that 25-year return period. And by installing either a 6x4 or an 8x2 box, we'll be able to more than handle the flow from a 25-year event coming down Oak Street. So that's the point in the design which we're at. Obviously, from this point forward, we have to actually create the detailed plans of how is that box culvert we're proposing going to interact with the existing infrastructure you have, sewer, water, telephone poles that are going through the existing box culvert, things like that. So we're entering now into the detailed design phase. That should take probably around, I'd say 6 months to complete a detailed design where we actually have documents that are put together that we could give to bidders. Then, this is a grant-funded project. So unfortunately, that adds a lot of red tape to it when you're spending
In time.
in time. When you're spending, the federal government's money instead of your own money, you have to jump through all their hoops. So once we get our documents done, we give them to SCOCOG, your regional planning commission who help you receive the grant. They will then take those to a CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, who is actually giving you the money, and they'll review our plans. They expect that to take from 3 to 6 months, and then we'll be able to actually bid the project. So you're looking from now, probably looking at about a year to be able to bid the project. Then once we receive bids from contractors, then we have to turn around and give those back to CDBG and SCOCOG again, and they have to review them before we can officially award the contract, and that's going to take another few months. So I don't know if the signs are up yet or not.
This sign came in, we're making brackets to hang them up here on 2nd Street now.
So we've got some signs that they have a date on there, fall of 2023. And that's what we are shooting for to have the project under construction. And that's just based on the timelines that SCOCOG has given me of if we get the plans done, this is how long it's going to take them to get things approved. And if the city had available their own funds to build the project, opportunity to go a lot faster, but because you're usually utilizing grant funds, it's going to take, unfortunately, significantly longer than if we were just waiting on me to get it done. So that's where everything stands. We've done the bulk of our preliminary design work and now moving into final plan production. So
construction will start fall of 23.
yeah.
And what would you estimate?
I think that it's probably going to be 6 months. I'd say we give them a 6-month window to complete the project.
And I assume all the traffic is going to be controlled by the contractor?
Yes. We can, in our design plans, we can have traffic control plans that kind of show them, and obviously they'll have to work, this is going to be right out front here in Oak Street, so they're going to have to work with the community to make sure road closures and things like that are are properly notified of and,
Do you think you'd have to close down the sidewalks?
Yes, I would say for sure, because they'll have most of Oak Street tore up. And with the size of the equipment they'll need to install an 8-foot wide box culvert, you won't want to be walking down the sidewalk next to this.
So most of these businesses will be closed for a while.
Yes, there will definitely be a point in time where
Maybe.
businesses along Oak Street will not be accessible. Now, they will phase the construction such that you're not gonna shut down businesses for 6 months, obviously, that's not gonna happen. But there will be points in time where they're actually installing infrastructure directly in front of those individual businesses where they will not be accessible from Oak Street.
And sometime before construction begins, we have an estimate of every storefront so that we can notify each business owner of what to expect.
So, yes, we will have we'll have a pre-construction meeting with the contractor where we make sure that he gives us a schedule, and to the best of his ability, or her, be able to tell us, when the individual businesses will be affected by construction.
I'm just curious, you said a 8x2 or a 6x4, there's 2/3 difference, what's up with that? Is it because you want to go bigger, or, I mean, it's not similar.
So, those two cross-sections have almost an identical capacity. The 8x2 is affected more by friction because the walls are all closer together, so it actually has less capacity than you think it would. The reasoning behind not knowing exactly which one we're going to use yet is when we get into the detailed design and we're looking at where sewer lines and water lines are, it may be more cost-effective not to have to relocate utilities in order to, change the size of the box. So whichever box fits in the street better is what we'll go with.
Right now, it's fed by 2, one on each side, and
So
this is just going to be one box somewhere under the street.
Yep, the plan will be to leave the box on the east side, well, let me give you my bearings right here. The box on the west side of the street is planned to stay. The box on the, I'm sorry, I guess got that backwards.
Yeah,
Backwards.
it's just backwards.
The plan is to take the box out on the west side of the street. That's the one that's irregularly shaped, rubble on the bottom of it with telephone poles through it. So we will take that box out, replace it with the bigger box, leave the box that's on the east side of the street, and they'll be interconnected such that the plan is for the majority of the flow always to go through the brand new box that we put in. That will direct it, into the larger box that you have at First Street that goes directly into the creek. Instead, and try to keep the water from going underneath that kind of gazebo thing and headed down toward Elm Street, where you have that series of culverts, which I understand is another potential stormwater problem. So we're trying to keep as much of the flow into the new box as possible. However, we don't want to take away that additional capacity because stormwater infrastructure is only designed for 25-year storm. If you have a 100-year storm, it's not cost effective to put things in to convey a 100-year storm. So that will help us alleviate potential issues on larger storms by leaving that other box in place.
And now, have you ever done a project like this, so we've got some type of time frame for businesses? Like, is there a guesstimate for how long businesses are gonna be affected?
Yeah, so, yes, to answer the question, we've done lots of projects like this, but the box that we're talking about will be precast.
Okay.
So they'll bring one section of that, which will be, depending on which size we get, but the sections will be between 5 and 10 foot long. And they'll have the excavation open, they can put those boxes precast into the hole and cover it back up. I mean, for each individual property, I wouldn't expect the time where all access to that property is cut off to be more than a day.
Okay.
The street won't be paved by the end of that day, for people to park right back out in front again, but the sidewalk would be able to be traversable. And it'll only be when they're installing those sections of box directly in front of that business where I think there'd be no access at all.
Okay, so estimate not a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Any more questions? Well, thank you, Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
I appreciate you driving all the way down here just for this.
Oh, no problem.
I thought you could explain it a lot better than I could.
For sure, yeah. I can leave my business card if anyone else has any questions or
Yes,
anything that comes up later. If that,
Leave Mr. Krasuski one, he is just the newly elected mayor, so he'll probably be
I wouldn't mind having.
contacting him.
Thank you, sir.
And I have your card, and we have your card already.
Yeah, so I mean, the project's gonna be very beneficial, obviously. when
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all said and
Yeah,
done.
well, it's been needed for a long time, you know, maybe they'll have to put their canoes up.
Yeah, there will be, the construction process will not be pleasant. There'll be disruptions to the city and to businesses and, but I think the end of the day, the product will be,
Well,
It's a small sacrifice, what we're going to benefit from. And with a new street, new pavement,
the flooding in the stores is not very
yeah.
good either, so they'd be glad to get rid of that.
Yeah, and that's another good point too. That at the end of the day, the final product will be Oak Street will be completely repaved from sidewalk to sidewalk, so that'll,
yeah.
that'll be good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice working with you.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on then to the next item on the agenda, and that is the Beta Technology. Is there something you want to say on that, Deidre, or just,
On
or should I
the
just go ahead and read what the,
Beta Technologies part, basically I just got the same email that I had Shannon kind of copy out for you guys to
Yeah.
see the language that they sent.
yeah,
If you want to just let me know what you think about that and if you've had any other thoughts as far as that contract is concerned. And if you've not had a chance to kind of read it in the entire context of the contract where they're planning to insert it at, then you can always send me an email or call or whatever later. I just want to get you guys' feedback on their thoughts on the language before moving forward and dealing with them anymore on it.
When I read through the contract, it's a pretty basic contract and, and everything we talked about, they've got in here. But I know we brought up about personal injury or damage to the property and all that,
Mhm.
so that's gonna take care of that part, so
Right,
I
it's,
have no problem with the contract myself.
it's a contract that's much more designed to protect them than it is to protect us, but that's because they're the ones who made it and it's what they send to everybody. So, just like I said, if you're reading through it and come across anything that you think is lacking in it, then just let me know. We can kind of throw that out to them. They just now put me in touch with their actual legal team. So I got that at, I don't know, what was it, like 2 o'clock on Friday?
Yeah, it was
late
afternoon.
Yeah, so I wasn't even planning to have anything for this meeting, but they sent it just at the last minute, so.
well, is, go ahead.
I just think we should go ahead with the contract. I mean,
It's, with this addition to the contract for liability reasons that they put in there, personally, I recommend it to continue to move forward with it. But of course, it's up to the council to discuss and vote yea or nay.
Donnie, I had 4 stipulations I'd like to go over with at another time with you.
Okay.
I don't have all the facts to back up what I had, and it was just things that I think we could tweak that contract a little bit in the favor of the city. Right now, it's 110% in their favor and 75% for the city, and I don't like doing that for 10 years.
Yeah, it's not, there's nothing, anti-city in it, just there's not a lot for the city in it, right? Aside from the bare basic stuff that he talked about whenever he was here, so.
Much rather see us protect it a little better, get it a little on an even keel. But yeah, I do have it, and I'll get with you on that.
Okay,
So, so what's the suggestion here?
Just
There
keep moving,
hasn't been any motions, nothing's
Yeah.
else.
No, I know it.
just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Open for discussion, that's it.
Just keep moving forward on to,
So, so we'll, table it then until next
we'll
month?
keep moving forward. I make a motion, we keep moving forward on it. Like John says, he's got things he wants to tweak.
Okay, we got a motion for Deidre to keep moving forward with this, contract, and, do I have a second?
I'll say.
Are we all in favor? Connie?
Aye.
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 Okay, so we'll move forward with that, and they can discuss it later.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just let, Chip's the one that I've been emailing with. I think he was the one who actually came here and talked, so I'll just let him know that we're working on it and he can stop feeling like he needs to check in, so.
Okay, all right. Okay, now I'll go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Nicholson on, about the, yes, cellular relocation of a tower, I assume.
Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about this either. They just sent me an email. Did you guys get maps of the new site that they're wanting
Yeah,
to put in?
yeah.
Okay, so I guess they had previously gotten a site approved that was Mountain View 004. That was on the northwest corner of 4th and East, but now they need to move it, and they sent, the new site of where they want to put it at. It looks like it's pretty
It was
close.
Fourth and what?
They said it was 4th Street and East.
East?
Yeah, on the northwest corner. So they're wanting to move it to the southeast side instead of the northwest corner. So it looks like it's not very far away from there.
Across the street?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Looks like across the street. So do you need the council's approval to tell them that? Is that what we need?
Yes, well, they're wanting you guys to sign a letter approving the move so that they have that to give to MoDOT. So you guys have to either decide if you want to let them move it or if you want to fight with them about moving it, and then if
Where
you
is
want to
that
sign it.
exactly, just so we're not throwing out
It's
southeast
down
side
here.
and,
See, I couldn't find it right here on Tom, down here.
that's at Tom Frontal?
Yeah. But it's there where 4th Street comes into that,
Okay.
and East Street. We didn't figure it out either.
Yeah, so where, it shows one of the locations, is that the new location or the old location?
So they've got the new location and the old location. They just sent it to me in an email, and that map is not great either.
Yeah.
But
Kyle came in today and wanted to look, the electric supervisor wanted to look at the maps. And he was well aware of where they were moving them,
Okay.
and he said he has checked both locations, and there is nothing that will bother anything in the two proposed locations. Because one of them are getting moved because they were putting something over like a 6-wire
yeah.
connection.
Yeah, they would
So
have
he
to.
said the new spots, there's no issues as far as the city's concerned that's gonna hinder him at the electric side.
In fact, the new spot is supposed to be better. Easier to put in and
As far as I know, to be completely honest, I don't know enough about the construction part of it or the, wiring part of it or any of that to really know. I just know that they've sent this, they're wanting to move it, so that's,
It's from one or the other.
I don't see a problem myself
But
moving it.
As long as Kyle locates it.
Kyle approved it, he's wanting to get away from all those wires that we may damage.
I was saying he would know far more about it than I would in terms of if the spot is better or worse, so.
It's not in front of anybody's house or anything, so.
Well, it's on these,
This spot, this spot, Donnie, it's a project location. Is it there or is it across the street? I mean, I've only got one.
Either one is vacant as far as there's no residences.
to the city.
Right.
It's really doing the city a favor by moving it, staying away from the wires. So, so can I have a motion to accept the move?
It's wide open.
I guess one side of it's where the wire runs down, that's why they want
So that's
something
where
like
it's
this.
going over.
It's really better location.
Yeah, 'cause it's not,
Yeah, not any obstructions.
yeah.
So,
I'll
so,
move relocating the home.
okay, John made a motion to approve it.
Second.
Mr. Stevens seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Now I'll turn it over to Ms. Wagner. She wants to revisit the property concern of Mr. Arnold.
All right, John and I were able to meet with Mr. Arnold and come to an agreement that we'd like to present before council. Basically, the agreement to make all parties happy was we were going to run sewer out to the property. Mr. Arnold was going to put $5,000 in escrow, in an escrow account for the city. And after completion of the sewer, he would have a certain amount of time to start building. And then if he didn't start building within a certain amount of time, then that escrow money would revert back to the city. And it's just kind of a good faith on both of our parts.
Well,
John, did you want to add anything?
You said just what we agreed to, a 6-month time frame, a 6-month time frame on the city to get something started. And something started is engineering and or surveying, et cetera. Not necessarily 6 months to put in a sewer in, but get started on it in 6 months. And then the time span for the entire project, basically 3 years.
When did water get moved over there? It wasn't over there,
Wednesday the 6th, from what I heard.
did you?
yeah, no, they was putting water out there without my approval, but that's, I guess, Ms. Wagner told them told the supervisors to put water to them.
No, I didn't tell the supervisors.
Somebody did, it wasn't me. And they just was out there digging through the street, and I went out there and wanted to know what was going on, and they said that the clerk told them that you and John told them to put water in. And I thought that we would settle the contract before we started doing any construction work out there. But that's hindsight, it's in now. I mean, it would have went in eventually anyway.
Have we figured, I mean, this is going to be on the next administration, but has there been a cost put on this?
That's another thing I was concerned about, is I don't know how we can approve a contract when we don't even know what it's gonna cost. Mr. Arnold, we didn't ask you to come up here yet.
Let the council discuss.
Will you
this
step back
with
down,
me.
please, sir?
Will I have a chance to come up?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean,
We don't have a figure on this. Here's what it consists of. I gave them a map of what it consists of. It's about 1,000 feet of sewer, which is gonna have to be at least 8-inch pipe. It'll have to be, probably DNR will get involved. We'll have to meet the specs. It'll have to go deep to get the gravity flow. And you know, and I don't care, and that's why we haven't had sewer out there before now. It's simply because of the cost of this to an empty lot. And that's my standing. I've always stood on the ground that build me a house and we'll give you sewer. But if we start doing this to empty lots throughout town, we've got a guy over here developing over here on Jackson Street. I guess if we start doing this, we're gonna have to start giving him sewer to all his lots. Mr. Reniger's got lots out here. He was wanting to ask me about sewer, and I said, you start building, we can give you sewer. We can't give sewer. I just don't see how the town can give sewer to every empty lot in town.
well, my big concern on, and I don't know if anybody went in and figured it, but when you, and the next administration's gonna have to take care of it, but whenever you have to figure how much it's gonna cost, so you can budget it in your budget, so I don't know how you can agree and not table this until you figure out the cost and what it's good. And utilities, if you agree to this, and the utilities goes in the red, the state's gonna come down on you, big time. No utility, the utilities has to support yourself. And sewer is the lowest income utility we got. And I don't know, I mean, in 6 months, I mean, you could dig a hole and that's what you could afford that year, but,
What we're saying is, the budget, it has to be in the budget. We have to know how much this is gonna cost, so you can put it in next year's budget. And we don't know how much it's gonna cost, because we haven't had no estimates, no bids, no nothing, and it could take 6 months just to do that.
it was gonna cost $50,000 3 years ago, and the pipes and all, wasn't that right? $50,000.
Yep.
And you know how everything's went up now. So, when you're running on a tight budget,
I mean, you know, I don't think anybody's gonna inform us about giving the man sewer if he's got a house there.
I sure don't.
But we have to put it in the budget. We have to have the money in the budget allocated to that project so that we can pay for it when it's done. We just can't sign a 6-month contract and then dig the money up later. It's gotta be in the proposed budget, a proposed price.
Myself, I'm not gonna be here next time, but for the sake of the next administration, I think it needs to be tabled till all the new councilmen can look over it and investigate it and.
Get bids.
And get, well, figure out at least how much it's gonna cost, because you're gonna have to come up and balance your budget. And if, sure, it's gotta pay for it. I mean, I just feel like the next council should have their word in on it. They're gonna have to deal with the headache, and
See,
electric's gotta pay for it. I mean, each utility, electric, water, and sewer, they gotta pay for themselves. And you look at the budget and see what sewer brings in, and you use all their money for this, and then what are they gonna work on all year?
I think once the new council looks at the budget and starts building this next year's budget, they'll know where the money is. They'll see, and maybe they can put the money in for this project. But as Ms. Kohler says, I honestly think we should table it until the next administration takes over, because they're the ones going to have the burden to finish this job. So therefore, they should have the right to say yea or nay.
To justify it, I don't see a problem with it. I think there's, the number one thing is that we've got to remember, I mean, I don't have a problem tabling it. We made an agreement, and we were appointed to make an agreement, and we did. I'd like that we should confer with the property owner as well, but a 1-month deal difference in our 6-month span of starting a project is not a problem. I don't believe so. From our point of view, we'll confer with them. But we've got to keep in mind that this isn't something we're just jumping into. This is something that's been here and eating away for 2 administrations worth of mistakes in the past. And yes, mistakes cost money for someone. And in this case, I'm sorry, it's costing the city the money up front. It is. But it's the city's mistakes that weren't corrected in the past.
I disagree with you. It's not the city's mistake. The mistake was by not building a livable, permanent structure, which when Ms. Carson was here, and I think it's on tape in January of 2021, it got you on tape that you agreed with it.
And the thing is, that one permanent livable structure here really doesn't justify $50,000. It was
That's
okayed,
true.
and it was all okayed. Being okayed in lieu of the permanent structure, normally, which we don't have an ordinance saying, which we need to incorporate one of these days, straighten out some, you put in at least a foundation. And then foundation, you go from there. Well, foundation, if it's a slab house, if it's just a foundation for a crawl space, $5,000 is adequate for a good start. So by getting a $5,000 escrow, it's the same as putting in a foundation. In the meantime, we can go ahead and get started on plans and see what it's gonna cost. And if it's something unbearable the city can't handle, they'll have to work out another deal. They'll just have to work on something else, that's all. But right now, to correct the problem that we have in the past, I don't see a problem with agreeing that we're gonna give it a try.
Because this is a good faith deal to Mr. Arnold, who has waited patiently and has done everything he's been asked of.
Yep.
Well,
Everything.
now, wait a minute, back in January 11th, and that meeting in 21, and it's on tape, it's not in the minutes, it should have been put in the minutes, but if you watch that tape, he agreed that he would have a structure, and when he got the structure, then we would put, so,
Not true.
it's on tape.
It's on tape.
I've got the tape. Do you have time to listen to the tape? I've got it right here on my phone. Would you like to listen
I
to it?
don't want to argue with you.
I've got it here.
The minutes override, the minutes will override it anyway.
Was there a motion made, or?
Okay, all right. Personally, you know, it's up to the council what you want to do here. I was just warning you that don't dig yourself a hole that you can't get out of, and you ain't got the money in the budget to pay for it. I mean, that's allocated to that project. You'll have money, I'm sure, that you can get from the electric department, but,
They were supposed to
but
pay
they're
for
not.
the, that's.
But I mean, they'll have to
that's-
borrow it from the electric department and pay the electric department back.
Well, they're gonna go back to the old way.
But it'll go back the old way it was when,
We are simply in this position because promises were made.
but Ms. Wagner, I think you've made a promise and you don't even know how much money the city has.
I wasn't the one that began the promises.
Okay.
All right.
John
So-
and I are simply trying to fix the situation.
Well, I would like to have a motion to table it myself, if I don't have no support.
For the,
Table it till next month.
for the sake of the next administration, I make that motion to table till next month.
And to let the new
Councilman.
councilman have a voice on it, and they can vote on it. And then they can't say, well, I didn't get to vote on it, but, because they're going to have to be the ones to live with it down the road and explain it. So I'd like to have a motion to table it till the next meeting with the new administration.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Should we get Mr. Arnold's opinion? Since
We gotta get rid of this motion first and then we'll ask it.
Okay, well, we don't have a second? All right, there's no second, so that motion is dead.
I would like to ask if you would invite Mr. Arnold up and see if he's willing to alter the agreement.
If he'll keep his voice down, I'd listen to him all night long, if he'll keep his voice down. But when he starts hollering and shouting, we're not gonna tolerate it. Mr. Arnold, you can come up.
We don't need an explanation for you, Mr. Arnold. What we need is, what do you think? How, I know we made a good faith, I have all the signatures here, agreement with you. We were asked to make that agreement with you, and we did the best we could. I think we did good on behalf of both the city and yourself, and the other property owners are on there.
I agree.
Do you have a problem with if it's tabled for 1 month?
Yes,
You have a problem with that 1 month?
yes, I do. When I hear him say, asked that here 3 years ago, $50,000. Impact fees were paid almost 7 years ago. You and I had discussions before you were mayor. Let me ask you, why wasn't this put in the budget already?
Because you didn't have the house, sir.
Well, let me ask you, I've been talking about sewer and I've been promised sewer before anything was ever discussed about a house, Donnie. Okay, I've been promised this. That house would have sat had I been told that in the beginning. But this just came up in the last year and a half about having to have a house set up to get utilities run. Was this project planned before you came in office?
We got plans.
Yeah,
Sure.
so it was planned, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you not tell a property owner that lives right on that same property that you would give him, pay a couple years of utilities for him?
I said I could run it through the council.
Okay, so if you're willing to do that.
Let me explain
Wait,
why.
hold on. If
You don't
were
want-
willing
you don't want
to
to
do
hear my
that, that's-
explanation
hold
about
on.
that,
You're
do
the
you?
one who mentioned it to me, Donnie.
Okay.
Okay, not the council. You did. You brought it up. You suggested it. So at $300 a month on an average utility bill, do we already have $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 put aside for this project?
There was no money.
why?
There was no money
You brought
mentioned.
it up.
I
You brought it up, Donnie.
brought it up. I said there could be a possibility if the council would approve, because we could run, now hear me out. We could run a 4-inch line straight to your property, straight down across that
Correct.
gentleman's property, and it had the gravity flow and everything. We wouldn't have had to done nothing. No manholes or no nothing. And we could do that with a 4-inch pipe, with minimal construction, and give you sewer. But he wouldn't let us go through his property, and I said, well, maybe I could bring it up to the council, and we could reward you with some reduced sewer rates.
Okay, first of all, I don't remember anything being said about bringing it up to council. What I recall is you told me that you could pay you would offer to pay his utility bill.
I didn't have the authority to do that.
Okay, well, this was our discussion, so be it here or there. Judy, you mentioned last meeting that we were at that this project was going to be done. It was in the works to start the Monday that Mike got fired. That week, it was going to be started the next week, this very project. Now, where Mike was going to come up with the money, I don't know, but this project was green light on the following Monday. You had told Larry that to proceed with the project that week. It wasn't until the following Monday that you told him not to do the job. Larry came to my place of business, told me that he had talked to you because nobody was aware that you were stepping in as mayor when you fired Mike. And so he came to me and said he was concerned. He did confront you, and you told him to proceed with the sewer job. And the following Monday, he was told not to, and then you fired him. So this project was planned. Okay, and if we need to get Mike Wake in here, we can, because Mike called me into his office, and we had a full-on discussion about this project being started that Monday. So
This
it
is all,
wasn't
oh, this is all unnecessary.
no, it isn't,
Are we-
because she said, I made a statement last, I'll give you what Boyd said. She made a statement last meeting. I just happened to say, hey, I think you might.
Mr. Arnold, Mr. Arnold, I don't mean to interrupt, but can I, because this is not going anywhere, this is pointless. Back to Mr. Krzyzewski's, and I'm not up there yet, okay? So this is why I'm stopping, because right now we're not going anywhere.
That's exactly right.
Oh, so hold on, let me continue, okay? I'm trying to diffuse everything right now, okay? If we could proceed and extend that up to a month, to where you can get new counsel in and a new direction, would that be acceptable for you?
No, it is not.
It is not.
Okay,
So,
we talked, we had an agreement, I would like to have this tonight, I wanted it resolved a couple weeks ago. Didn't have an agreement, so I would like a decision to be made today. Okay, I mean, this was why we got together. This is why I'm leaving, I already talked, if something came up, I fully understand, but I would like to have that decision made tonight. Okay, and you know I'm leaving.
Yeah.
If something happens, I'm fully understand. I
Okay.
fully understand.
Can I say this?
Yes,
They're not supposed to dig for 6 months.
that's okay. That is,
Can I finish? They're not supposed to dig for 6 months, okay? So why not let the next council be involved in it in a month's time? Or have John call a special meeting, and then the new council can go to a special meeting.
why? Because I've been through how many administrations? I don't want to go through another one. This should not be put on to the new administration. In my opinion, this has been going on with Donnie and I and you long enough. and I am ready to make a decision. I'm willing to work with anybody as long as I can. Then I,
That'll be put on next administration's budget, that's for
okay,
sure.
it was on the budget at one time, Judy.
But it's not on the budget.
Then why isn't it, we discussed it, why hasn't it been put on the budget since before you became mayor? Because I called you,
It's plain and simple, Steve.
Why?
Because there's no livable permanent structure there.
really.
And that's what
Is
was.
That is the
this
only
the way,
reason.
is this the way it works in the city? You have to have a full livable structure to get sewer or water or
Do we have
electric?
do we have an ordinance that says that anymore?
I don't think.
We don't have an ordinance.
No, we don't have an ordinance anymore.
Thank you,
And deny it altogether.
thank you.
Okay, let's make a motion. Whatever you want to do.
I'd like to make a motion.
All right, make your motion.
It may be our last blunder of this era and first blunder of the next, but myself and Laura have worked out a deal in lieu of what, almost, I don't know how many years it's been. Promises are made, schedules are
Almost
started.
7 years.
7 years, etc. So, my motion is, if we get the support, I get the support. I don't, but mine is to go ahead and work with him according to the agreement we made.
I'll second that motion because we were appointed by this council, it passed, to do something as a goodwill gesture to move this forward.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Let's vote. Mr. Stevens, aye? Aye?
No.
Aye. Ms. Golder says no. All right. Moving on. I
Can I
think,
ask a question to you guys as the council and as to Shannon is, what is the rule on that? Because I've always been told that if a lot does not have water and sewer hookup, that the city would pay up to the street and the person that doesn't, or person that's purchasing that, or run from the street to their house. Is that correct?
I don't know if
That's
there's an
not-
ordinance
that's
as
not-
such, but that has been the rule.
That's not-
And it was
Yeah.
like $2,500 from my understanding. As a realtor, that's what I have been told when people are purchasing lots in this area, that if it's in the city is responsible for putting in sewer, water, and sewer city, or sewer, water, and city sewer, as long as there's a $25 hookup fee that the buyer is responsible for.
But there is an ordinance that says you can deny it altogether. It's according to, if you're gonna have to put a.
it's in the
list.
ordinance that the council can delay or deny. Now, maybe that has to be clarified a little more in another ordinance, but then the next administration can take that up and, so, okay. That there has passed, let's go on to new business, that's old business.
Before old, where's the swimming pool stand right now?
I've talked to Trent today, and he has, I can't really say. I mean, we haven't got the money released. We are waiting on a letter to say the money has been, it's like Matt said with grants. You jump through these hoops, but you gotta wait until you get that email that says the money has been released. We've been told, yes, everything's a go, but it can't announce it
Because you lose
is
the-
finalized, because you could lose a grant if we go out here and publicize it that we've been approved. We wait, and he said that will probably be within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. I know that's been an
It'll probably
ongoing
be-
thing, and I want to
It'll
make sure
probably
that it's
be,
still,
we'll be notified in the next couple of weeks,
One way or the other.
one way or the money, if the money has been released. And it's a 95% chance it will be.
okay.
That's all I can say.
No, I understand that. I really appreciate it because I know there's a lot of people that are going to wonder about it, and, yeah,
It looks good,
okay.
very good, exceptionally good.
Thank you.
So, we'll move on now, and we will get the clerk and if all the newly elected officials would please stand up there, please, in front, and maybe we can get her to swear each in. And then, as they're sworn in, they can come up and take their seat.
Not by my husband, this doesn't. What?
If I get that later.
Use that now, sure.
I'll watch it.
I'm gonna leave them here for them. They can.
Go ahead or wait.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Go ahead. No, please. Start with the mayor first, please.
All right. Have you raised your right hand? Do you, John, solemnly swear that you possess all of the qualifications required by law for the office of mayor in the cities of fourth class? That you will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri and all the provisions of all laws affecting cities of this class and the ordinances of the city, and faithfully demean yourself while in office?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. Marie Anderson, do you solemnly swear that you possess all qualifications required by law for the office of the East Ward Alderman in the cities of the fourth class? That you will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri and the provisions of all laws affecting cities of that class, and the ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, and faithfully demean yourself while in office? Yes, sir. Laura Wagner, do you solemnly swear that you possess all qualifications required by the law for the office of the East Ward Alderman in the cities of the fourth class? That you will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri and the provisions of all laws affecting cities of this class, and the ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, and faithfully demean yourself while in office? Thank you, ma'am. Linda Van Board, do you solemnly swear that you possess all qualifications required by the law of the office of the West Ward Alderman in the cities of the fourth class? That you will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri and the provisions of all laws affecting cities of this class, and the ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, and faithfully demean yourself while in office?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
That's the only thing you get out of it.
There you put that in.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to talk to them about who's actually in
Stop the meeting, so just continuing on where we are.
Yeah, I hope they're
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we would just continue from where we left off, starting with the new business. But the city clerk did a very good job of swearing in all of us officials now. And the first person we have is Craig Danielson. Is he here? I didn't even notice. Oh, there we go. Just speak about the waterway street. Pardon?
Do we want to address this first, so we have
It's the first thing on there.
okay.
What else do you run?
The MDC? Would you like to be addressed first?
Yeah, we could address
Stand
that
down.
first.
Go ahead and finish
It'll take a minute.
Finish that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that empty seat there.
Technically, I feel like it should have, after the election, we should have had it on the agenda
Yeah.
anyway, and that's, I completely forgot to.
Adjust the seat.
I think before we proceed, we really do need to put it on the agenda for the next meeting, whenever that is, just to clear our tracks.
Okay. We'll ratify it next week.
I don't have a problem with it at all, I just think we need to cover our bases.
Yeah, because it was a miss. We should have had it on there. We'll blame it on the clerk.
I ask.
So, Yeah, well, what I was thinking, and you three can easily rule how you wish. We put out to the public, and audience, et cetera, of anyone that has any nominees. I've had several people, several very, I think, qualified people that would like to serve. And I don't have a problem with you guys coming up with your ideas of who, and if you do, and if you want to put it through, et cetera, we can work on that. Entertain any motions for nominees to fill that seat.
Monkey.
I will nominate Punky, and here's my reasoning for it. He was already elected in by the constituents of his ward. He served for the last 2 years, so he's been on for the last 2 budgets. He's the only person that's got 2 years of continuity that would be up here on the board, and he's been actively engaged in all the projects that are already going on. So those are my reasons for as far as why I want to nominate Punky Stevens.
I've got a question for the council. Since this is not on the agenda, are we able to discuss this?
We can't have a discussion, we can't have a motion, though, right?
I thought that'd be on the agenda, but I'm not sure.
Agenda's a guide.
We can
Yeah.
discuss it.
I'm,
It's not, because it wasn't.
I'm-
According to
Yes.
the Robert's Rule of Orders,
As
Yeah.
the agenda is just a guideline.
It's a guide.
Right.
as
Yeah.
long as
If
we
you only have a
ratify it.
motion and a second and 2/3 vote, you can do,
Right.
you can
We can
add to
actually
the
do it
agenda.
now.
yeah. It is a tentative agenda. If
Yeah.
you want to, discuss it now before you actually appoint somebody, it's probably not a bad idea to put that on the agenda so that you don't have to do things like ratify it later just to cover yourselves. But nominating, putting the idea out there is fine. As the tentative
I
part
just want to
goes.
make sure we got our basics covered.
Right, I think, so in other words, we would probably be making the waters murky if we actually tried to put someone in the seat today.
I don't know that you want to do that, just because it said that you were going to swear in the newly elected people. It doesn't say that you're going to be appointing
Correct.
someone else, so.
But we can
We can
discuss.
take
Yeah.
nominations and
Right, you can
ideas
discuss
from
it.
here all the way
Right.
up to the next meeting, and at the next meeting, we would be able to
Correct.
appoint, vote it in.
I for one nominate Punky because I've sat beside him and excellent person, has the values of Mountain View in his heart, so I'd be happy to have him back up here. And like Murray said, 2 years of knowledge on all the city projects is massive for us. That's my thoughts.
So we've got until the next meeting to come up with more, if we don't come up with any more, that's what we're happy with, that's one thing, but if we come up with more, we'll put it to a vote the next meeting and put it on the agenda.
So I do want to put that on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
We will have it. Okay, we got that cleared up. Now we'll take on Mr. Craig Danielson. Speak about a waterways street.
Have a packet here each for like an approach.
Oh, I'll come to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
First of all, good evening, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you.
I don't know whether or not you know it, but there's a section of road called Waterway Street that is down off of WW 17 down in that way. And it's never been put together, it's never been used. When they first developed the land down there, there were 2 houses built in 1995, 1996. And then it wasn't until about 8, 9 years later that the other 2 on the other side of the current proposed Waterway Street were developed. And then when they developed those 2, they put another route around it called Sarah Street. So waterway is just sitting there stagnant, it doesn't do anything. I take care of it, I groom it as much as possible. So this is in effect trying to, just let us absorb the land back into the properties that we already have. If you read the statement, I'll go ahead and just read the statement, makes it easier. Waterway Street was a proposal most likely when the homes of 1208 Woodruff and 1209 Hockman were planned originally in the mid-1990s. It would have been a loop road to connect Woodruff and Hockman together. Both these single-family residences were built on a slope overlooking the apparent floodplain. When you look over the land, as you can see the attachment in the photographs, if you look to the west side or the east side there, you see on 102 or 1208 and 1209, it slopes down. Waterway is right at the end of that slope. The actual natural water runoff comes down below that. So if the city were to actually put a road in there, they'd also have to put some kind of runoff in there to protect the road to keep it from eroding. But there's not enough inclination in there for water to really run down anywhere. If you look at the other side, it's not in the pictures there, but if you look at the other side of Dr. Shearling's home, there was a sinkhole, and that pretty much sucks up the water. Water doesn't run down there very rapidly. It's full right now. It's kind of trickling off into that way. So there's really nowhere to put it. So building a road in there is kind of a wasted expense of city government monies. On the other hand, if it's absorbed back into the properties, the property owners would be paying a property tax. It'd be a part of their natural response in there. So the city could actually not make much, but,
We don't have a property tax.
well, the county does.
Benefits, yeah.
No? Okay, well, I guess that's what happens when you move from California. Not everything is taxed, right? So, anyway, when you look at the tree line, that tree line is also a natural barrier. The only reason I really started this project in the first place, to try to research all this, is I didn't want the city to come in and knock that tree line down. There wasn't any reason for it. The tree line is part of the natural beauty of that part of the area. But to put that road in there, if you look at those pictures, look at 2C in particular, this one here, it's a bigger picture of the two that are put together. That whole tree line just goes away, all the way back from one road to the other. So it's just kind of ridiculous.
I agree, it's beautiful.
Pardon, sir?
I agree, it's beautiful.
So my request is for the city to expel the plans of any future building of that waterway street, if you could do that. And then absorb the property rights back into 1208, 1209, 1811, and 1805. At first, Mayor Pruitt had talked about a 50-50 split, but if you look at the package, some property, these two properties over here are bigger than these two properties. So to make it equal and fair, I divided it up as a 60-40 split, and that's what I explained at the bottom there, to do a 60-40 split, rather than do a bunch of Dewey Decimals. So that's the proposition that I have in order for that, and I'll just leave that with you in your hands. And if you have any questions, be sure to let me know.
Well, anything we've done would go through planning and zoning first, of course,
Right.
to that board. I can tell you right now that the city has we have no known objectives of developing that into a road.
Right.
And the reason being, it's water retention. It's not a sitting wet pond year round. It's a beautiful, perfect water retention scenario for the area. And they have full right to vote how they want.
Yeah.
But I personally,
Well, I figured you guys would have to digest whatever I have
Right.
as a package. I wasn't gonna look for anything tonight, because it's already been through the city attorney. She's already researched on her end, so she can converse with
well,
her.
I would say that for the city to not have control of this would be detrimental to the surrounding property, including yourself, because then the property owners could do almost as what they want, because we don't have a lot of ordinances stopping people from putting things in that would stop the water or make the water flow. In either case, it can make water flow worse and get stagnant and sit there on other properties, including yours or whoever's. It could become a hazard. But the city being in control of it and it being a retention pond as it is, it's very
That's
handy.
way on the other
It's
side
a
of
safeguard.
Shirley, so this is a runoff into
Right,
that pond.
right, and it's all a safeguard for that, so. I don't see anything being developed, and the city would not want to. It shouldn't, and it would advise, any engineer would advise against it anyway. So I think even for your guys, it's a safeguard that it's gonna be there, and there's no reason to take out trees or anything like that. It's part of Mountain View and et cetera, but that's my opinion right now, as to what I know and what I see. Would you guys have any questions for me?
Drove over to it again to refresh my memory. I've been around it for quite a while. I know how it actually cuts through Dr. Sherwin's yard too.
Yeah,
But
the water.
actually, the water starts off a little bit to the other side of Hawk Bend. It's the overflow of that pond. And to me, it always looked and it felt like it's a dry creek bed. And you're absolutely correct. There's no way you're gonna put a road there. If you put a road there, all the houses that are lower are gonna flood out. And we've already got problems in that area down the road from there to where those houses are running sump pumps to keep water out from underneath the crawl spaces, basements, and other things too. And any of the big rains, the same
Yeah,
scenarios.
if you look at the satellite picture looking down, it's not that water runoff, that's the roadway. The roadway's up on the other side of that. So even if you did do something with that roadway, you're still gonna have to do something to channel that water through there. And there's not enough inclination there to do anything with that.
It's a handy waterway, as far as I see, but for you guys,
I definitely don't see putting a road in this. That's,
My concern would be if you give it back to he's wanting to save the trees. You know, I'm just thinking out of the box. Let's stop one of your neighbors from going in there and cutting your trees anyway, if they're on their property. But I'm like you guys, I don't think we need to mess with that, because I think we could have a whole lot more things happen that start messing with it. But that's just my opinion.
I think it'd be safeguarded where as is better.
Okay, well, I just, go ahead.
I would like to table it and maybe get up as far as with planning and zoning and the law office that we've got, and see if maybe we can actually deed that as just a right-of-way and maybe get rid of the street portion, because I think that's his biggest thing, is somebody coming in from the city and doing that, because if it still has a right-of-way or a waterway going through there, that might be something that alleviate and keep it as a natural area.
So I will say, whenever I looked into it, we've got the original accepted plats from Country Meadows, and I think we've got them from every subdivision, but from what I saw, you know, looking back in the records that we had from back then, it didn't look like it was ever actually intended to be a street. I'm not sure why they called it Waterway Street, but there was not the intention to be a street. In Country Meadows, all the streets are named after the family.
Yes.
So it'd be kind of odd to have a Justin and a Sarah and a Waterway. So I don't think that was the intention. We didn't find anything that documented that that was actually the intention. And there is that active, you know, overflow that does actually run through it. On just the original plat, it looks like it runs through, that the waterway street is that same segment that was separated out, that the water actually runs across.
Because there is an actual ditch that cuts through
Yeah, it's
Dr.
just
Sherling's
really
office,
kind of-
or
yeah.
yard there,
Yeah.
because he actually purchased the other lot
Right,
to
it's
keep
on
it,
both
because
those
it's
other
it's a
lots.
flood zone down there. You
That's-
couldn't build there if
oh,
you
yeah.
wanted to.
Well, they put the houses on that floodplain in there too.
Right,
That
but-
flooded out a few years ago from there.
But if anything, maybe we could correct the verbiage enough to where it protects it for future, so somebody else doesn't go in 20 years from now and puts a road in.
That's my biggest concern, is I wanna protect that. I don't want anybody building on it. But just like, that's my forever home. My wife and I, that's our forever home. We're not going anywhere. But just as easily as my neighbors could change, you folks should change. We get another set of folks in here, and they decide they wanna do something else. I wanna protect that land. That's my concern.
If we deeded that back to the owners, we'd also have to have it all surveyed again and split that up.
That would be
That'd a major-
protecting it. We wouldn't be protecting it.
No.
He would have no protection except his own piece.
yeah.
The rest he would have no
I would,
power over.
I would be more in favor, like Murray said, to get an easement through there, because you never know
Not-
what we're
not-
gonna,
Change the verbiage to where it can't be put in as a road.
Yeah.
Leave it at, even if we call it a natural area or something, and have it designated.
That's weird, because anything we do, the next council can undo. That's weird.
this was my proposal, and I'm gonna put it in your hands. It's your baby. But, you know, that was my concern, and that was my desire, so. Is there anything else for me?
I like it, I wish we had more areas with buffer zones like that, with trees, et
Yeah.
cetera. Yeah.
Thank you for doing
Thank
all
you.
of the work and putting this together.
If you need anything, she has my phone number and stuff still, right?
I know that she does.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I knew somebody had it. All right, thank you very much.
So do you live directly across the street from Dr. Sherling? Or
Yes,
do
sir, I do. I
Okay.
live at 1208.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm the guy that has the flag outside.
No worries. I wasn't gonna say that.
No, that went up 2 minutes after Biden was sworn in.
Can be done like a permanent
That's
or
where I'd like to get in with,
planning zoning.
zoning and then also,
You know, I would love to keep it that way. I mean, putting a
right
road,
for you to have.
yeah, I mean, putting a road there is just gonna cost.
Council can use a park. We can go those after we do those. The only things permanent are things that are attached to grants, stuff like that. Nothing's attached. So we can pull those out of City Hall. We'll leave the office out. Okay, the next one's a good one. We're gonna need to discuss the budget procedure. And where do we start with the budget procedure? Should we deal with the clerk or with the?
I don't know who knows about
So,
that procedure.
I was instructed to put that on by the other mayor. And he just said, according to the ordinances, obviously there's steps that need to be taken now that it's April. So that's why I gave you guys all the wish lists for all the departments. And then you guys will need to decide at this point when you want to start having special meetings, getting such and such departments in on special meeting nights and dividing that up to conquer, basically.
The sooner
I
the
looked
better.
at, yes, I looked at quite a bit, the sooner the better.
There's a lot to cover.
Yes. And we have a timeline too. Is it the end of June? Or is it
It needs to be passed, usually Deidre do it the middle. I've only been through this once, but.
I don't know. We've never been involved in the way that you guys do the budget, so
Well,
I
wasn't
don't
involved last
know.
year either, so that's
Okay.
was,
That's what I thought. It's the end of June.
yeah.
Yes.
We
Okay.
usually try
Goes into
to
effect
have the last
July 1st.
special meeting around the
July.
15th.
Yeah, July 1st, it goes into effect.
But I think didn't we finish it last year?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks earlier.
Yeah, about the
June
15th of
30th
June,
was
so.
the deadline.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
The working groups are in closed session, and then when we go to open, we'll talk after, because of some of the natures of the.
All the department managers will come in and to the podium, whichever you
But that'll be
choose.
in closed, right?
It's all open, isn't it?
That's all open, And then we'll go into closed session to say, what do you guys think about what,
Yeah,
you know, Parks Department wanted or whatever.
that's, okay.
But they'll present their cases to you in open session.
If you have one, if you don't have one now, if you could put one together, and that is an outline, something for us to follow, and
Sure.
date, stamp, et cetera.
Yep.
And I think we should go ahead and try to set up a meeting, I'm gonna say in 2 weeks.
That's about what we did last year.
That sounds
That's fine. I've got one request. Can we do that on either a Tuesday or a Thursday night?
I
Because
have no problem with that.
it really,
I-
Anybody said-
That's,
stretches
as long as we hit after 6 o'clock, I'll just kick them all out of the shop early, so.
So
Yeah, anything past 5:30.
So you want to set a date now?
Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that.
either a Tuesday or Thursday.
Oh, Tuesday,
Monday,
Thursday.
Wednesday, and Friday, I'm out late days, and it's hard to get back to work.
I have no problem. with
So you want to start like next week or the following week?
Do you want to start next week? Is that going to be enough time for everyone to look things over? And
Let's go 2 weeks. Is
Yeah,
that gonna
let's
give
go
us-
2 weeks.
Okay, so.
That'll also give the supervisors that we're having enough time to get their stuff together too,
Yes.
as far as, because there's a lot of work to go in.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't wanna say, yeah, well, I'm ready next week, and
Right.
The supervisor-
So we've got either Tuesday the 26th or Thursday the 28th.
Same thing, I don't care.
Well, I'm sorry.
If you wanna wait 2 weeks, it would be Tuesday the 26th or Thursday the 28th.
I'm okay with either day.
26 would work better.
26th?
Funeral coming up. Be like,
Tuesday,
At 6?
Tuesday the 26th would work better for me. My child has an away game, so.
And you have to- I'm out of town, you have to remind my husband.
All right.
Are we starting this already?
Yeah.
and if you're late, as long as we have a quorum,
Okay.
there's not a problem walking in and getting caught up.
That's correct.
Can we do the feedback on that, for that meeting there?
You,
Yes. As long
Oh,
as
at
it's on the
special
agenda.
meeting, as long as we announce it.
As long as it's
If
on
she
the
puts it
agenda.
on that agenda, it's a good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well,
Good idea.
not necessarily punky, it's
Well.
an appointee,
yeah, I'm good.
not
I'm
show
good with
favoritism.
Nobody asked me.
Right.
He's got
Militarily volunteered.
You got a question for the audience?
You all, I'm speaking for just the ones that are sitting here. The council is not speaking loud enough that you can be heard. So you're gonna have to speak up if we're gonna
Okay.
hear you.
I would agree. Microphone's just
Yeah,
not
I-
working well today.
I've already
I
discussed
was gonna say,
with
I thought we had,
We
like,
will
we
be
were
having
looking
Mr.
into
Pruitt
microphones.
about my-
With speakers, but it'll be more that way. You don't want me on a microphone.
Well, you're loud enough, Murphy.
That's why I'm saying you don't want me on a microphone. It'll be
I can
echoing.
speak louder, I can use my mom voice. That doesn't bother me.
The 26th at 6 PM.
Yep. Everybody in agreement there?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And I'm glad to see this many people here tonight too.
Yeah.
By all means, tell everybody, if they would please come. That's the only way that we're going to be able to help as far as with the city is to have the input from the city at all.
Okay, we'll
It's-
save
yeah.
that for the end.
I'm sorry.
Now, moving on, Moving on to, we have bill number 1710, ordinance 1340, an ordinance to accept annexation of land owned by Ozark Development. 1890. Do we have a report from the planning commission?
They approved the annexation.
Do we have that in writing somewhere?
I
It was in
have,
the packet. I see it.
I was gonna, I thought I saw it, but
No, I see
Zach?
this, but I don't.
You told
see
me you
it.
gave him a copy of the minutes?
all I have is a copy, 2 paragraphs of minutes saying that they approved it. And actually, I'm not sure if I put that in there or not, because I think I just put all the language in there.
And then
But I do have 2 paragraphs
from
of
the
their
planning
minutes.
commission,
Yes,
sign that, that
correct.
would have been good in here, but okay, that's
Yep.
good. All right, yeah, 'cause I did stop in at that meeting, and so
Yeah.
Laura as well, and they haven't met in, I forget how many years, most of them,
like,
3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
And
it's maybe even longer than that.
to my surprise, they did a very good job.
yeah,
They
very
did
good.
Very, very good. We critiqued them, and we didn't even let them know we were there. We snuck in and just sat there quiet as mice, and they did a really good job. They asked what I think would be pertinent questions. The LLC member answered them well to the board. The public, neighboring landowners had plenty of chance to ask questions, and they did. They were good questions. They were answered sufficiently. They were all satisfied from what I seen. And I think they gave a good ruling that there's nothing there that they see to stop it from being annexed. All the questions were answered that were necessary between water availability, sewer availability, electric, usage, neighboring usage, access to the street. It doesn't put any encumbrances on anyone else and any other neighbor or landowner. So it's up to you guys if you want to make a motion to pass it or what you want to discuss it. We get a motion up and we'll discuss it. If you get a second on a motion, we'll discuss
I
it.
would like to say before the motion is made, I know West Plains requires, sorry, we'll work on you, city clerk to be present at these meetings. I feel like there should be some type of recorder taking minutes. I don't know if they do, I don't think they did it amongst themselves, or,
when we go in and we're looking at the boards, because I'm gonna recommend that each of us as a council member attend a board member as a thing, but years ago, planning and zoning had to have a recorder, has a president, and it follows the same rules that we have up here. So if it wasn't, probably because of the fact it's been so long, and it might be just something that we have to go through and clean up, yes, teach something with to get these restarted. But that is something, and that is something that is very necessary anyway. All these boards are actually required.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, Shannon, you don't have to be there, that's just what West
Oh, I
Plains
don't have a
does,
problem.
so
Whatever you guys
just as
want.
long as there is someone in official capacity taking minutes, so that way, I mean,
Yeah, I don't have a
He's
problem
safe.
either. Whatever you guys want.
Did he have any idea what he was gonna use? Does he have any ideas what he's gonna do with this property, or just?
Yes. Build residential homes,
Okay.
1250 minimum square footage, and a minimum of, I forget, 10,000 square foot lots.
According to the planning and zoning, it's 4.7 acres. It's off of W Highway, and it was zoned R1, which corresponds with our map, which means that it's going to be single-family homes, and they have to meet a certain requirement. 1250 is the square footage as far as for that. Okay?
Thank you, Marty.
No worries.
No,
You can hear me. I got it.
I was gonna ask what you just answered.
So it's up to the board.
I'll make a motion that we accept it back into the city.
We have a motion for accepting the annexation. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Laura. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Oh, yeah, we can do plenty to go to the order. Okay, and that's what I'd like to ask now is any input from you three for, to the good of the order.
I just have to say, when I spoke with Apogee, and I completely forgot, this is my fault, to like throw it back on, what I had found out from them. And that was the, Apogee is the, alert system the local school district uses. I was super excited about the program they had. They would do a website for us. We would be able to, someone like Shannon, she would be able to have an app on her phone, and she could say, oh, I want to post there's going to be a boil water order. She would type that in, she could hit, I want to put it on Facebook, I want to put it on Twitter, I want to put it on Instagram, because we would have all those loaded in there. I want to put it on the website, and it would text everybody, hit one button, it's done. It's all across these medias. Kicker is of course the price. That kind of, like, they kind of chuckled to themselves, because I was like, oh, okay, well, let me get with the board, and I'll get back with you. Website included, push notifications, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are also able to do live feed of anything that we want to. This is just for 1,250 people. Not sure how many are signed up
We have
officially for city.
For like
Utility.
meters?
Yeah. that we-
1,540.
Okay, I knew it was above that number. But, it would basically be, obviously a setup and development start of $9,500. They would give us a discount of $2,500, so it dropped that down to $7,000. That's a one-time fee. Like I said, that stopped me. For a year, it would be roughly $9,950 for a year, which
What do you mean for a year, 7,000?
$7,000 is their setup and development, so they set up the website and get
And then
everything.
9,000 a
then
year, every year?
Yeah, 9,950 a year, and that's just for the 1,250 people. So, yeah, I was a little, it stung a little bit when I,
There is, Morgan and I have been looking into, our software that we use for the city is called G-Works. And so they have a separate little addition we can add, and it's called Front Desk. So we have been looking into that and getting some quotes and things like that. If we were to add Front Desk, again, I want to do a training module on it before I was going to bring it to you guys, but it will make that where the citizens can pay their utility bills online. We can sign up more ACHs, We can do that now, but it'll all be streamlined. One of the real big benefits of that is that I can go in and send out a mass message. There's a boil order, there's a severe thunderstorm warning, there's a power outage. The kicker, from what I understand, everything's got a kicker, is that I cannot send out those mass notifications unless they have signed up. So it would probably take a couple months for us to get that on utility bills, to do door hangers, to do everything that we can to get everybody into that system so that we can do it. But again, I'm early at learning all of these things. I want to do a module seminar to see, but that's something we're looking into to see if we can fix that problem.
What's the price tag with that?
About $1,200.
Is that a month?
And that is like a one-time fee, and then what we get charged per year depends on how many people sign up and actually use that bill pay. At this point, we've got about 300 ACHs a month. So we're guessing that it would be around $600 to $700 additional.
So only
much
the ones
cheaper.
that are signed up on bill pay would get the notifications?
Those are the ones that we would start with, and then each month, we would just start adding more and more and more.
Do they
But we
have
don't
to
get,
bill pay?
yes. The bill pay is where we get charged per usage.
Okay.
So just to get them in the system, my understanding is that will not be an additional charge.
So, do they have to have bill pay to be
I don't
on the
think
alert? Okay, well, that's weird.
So we're trying.
Yeah, like I said, it's like that Apogee thing, it was beautiful, and I loved it, but then when they got to the end and they told me the price, I was just like, ooh, okay.
We're gonna also talk to the company that runs our electric meters. Her and I got to talking about that this week, and she finally got in touch with somebody. They also offer a program. The problem is that we're going to have to figure out how to get G-Works to speak with our electric meter program. But they also offer some things like that, where we can do bill pay and notifications, so we're kind of digging into both. So I just don't have anything set in stone. We just actually got hold of them today, so.
Well, that's perfect, I like the moving forward to something like this, to kind of update everything.
Just trying to get the notifications, because it
Yeah.
just doesn't feel like no matter what we do or how we try to
Yeah,
spread
you
the
won't-
word, it's
you won't reach
never
everyone.
enough. So maybe this would help.
And they did, the Dutch King with Apogee, he did say, you know, they'd be more than happy, obviously, to come here, do any type of Zoom meeting or anything like that. They're based out of Arkansas. They did say there are grants. I have yet to dive into that, because as soon as I heard the price, I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah,
Put a pin in that,
for
but
the price continuing every year.
Every year.
And there's almost no cost on their part.
yeah, once it's set up, just from, I mean, I used to, it's been
But
Been
I
a
like
few
the
years,
program, if you could put something together, that would be.
Yeah.
The only other kicker with the front desk is they require us to change companies for credit cards. So again, it would be a little more of a transition for us as far as in the office to get new stuff, but I mean,
Well,
it's,
that would make
a lot of the
everyone's.
cities,
Yeah.
I know that Thayer uses it, Willow Springs uses it, I believe, and I think there's a couple more that we talked to.
Would there still be a fee for using your debit card or ATM there?
So it doesn't look like, that's one of the things that they use, what is their credit card company? It's Forte, I believe is what it's called. They actually charge us. Now, what we use now charges the customer. So that would be another hurdle we'd have to decide how to handle, whether we pass on a cost to the customer.
in a convenience fee
Right.
type of.
So, but that's the main difference that we know so far. Because what we use now charges the customer automatically. We don't even take that, like the phone payments, we don't even take. They call themselves. And if they pay it through City Hall, it adds it automatically.
The new phone system, is it voice over IP or is it still a landline? It is voice, there's probably a process in with it where you can do a database and it can automatically dial like the robo-dial used to do years ago. Okay.
It's fantastic.
Definitely.
We actually tested out our panic call today.
Yes.
So if one of us girls, guys, whoever in the future is in trouble in City Hall, we've had a few instances since I've been there, we can hit a panic button, it automatically goes to the police station. We don't even have to ask for help, they know that something's wrong, so.
That's good.
Yeah, I definitely want you to go further into that.
I like
Anything
that
that
angle
saves-
better than.
How many man hours or person hours are we gonna save at City Hall alone?
Oh, especially with billing to our bills are perforated, so Morgan has to turn around, stack them, she tears off this side, she tears 1,500 bills this side, then she has to fold and tear. It takes her hours. And they could be, if they set up that way, they could actually go paperless billing and it'll go directly to their emails, so that will save even more postage and things like that, so. Through front desk.
I like your idea, Betty.
Trying.
But now we have something to compare to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have known that that's such a good deal.
Yeah.
That's good. You guys have
That's
researched
fantastic,
everything.
yeah.
Is there anything else you guys have at this time? Well, I would like to make an announcement. I don't want to sit here and bore you with a big old speech or anything, but I want to thank everybody, everyone, all the voters in this town that did get out and vote, and those that talked to others to talk them into coming out and voting, because I know how that went this time around. And I really am pleased with the results. I think we've got a great board. I think we can all work together with the community and get some appointees, et cetera, get some committees going. I want a lot of community, we would like to see a lot of community interaction so that it won't be just, oh, the mayor did this or the councilman did this, you can't fight City Hall, et cetera. You are City Hall. You guys run it. You're it. You help us make the decisions. You're the one that contact your alderman. I would like, and I'm not gonna do this at this time because I gotta confer with them and I want to put it in their ears, that we don't have to put their phone numbers out there specifically, but that you can call in maybe to the clerk and either get an appointment or be able to have an alderman, your alderman in your section, hopefully, call you back and talk to you. Because I want your input, and really, that's how it should work. It should go to your alderman, just like Congress. You've got your congressman here, then they will bring it to the meeting, and then we can all decide things between us if it's for the good of the entire community. So whatever input we can get, great. And when you say, I know after the swearing-in ceremony, I appreciate the clapping for hopefully all of us, but in reality, the clapping is really for all of you. It's really for the better of the whole town, and you guys did it. The voters did it. Do you guys have anything to add?
Me personally, thank you for voting for myself. I would love to see, I don't know if we could get this started, a department head meeting. All of us, all the department heads, so we can get on the same page. Expectations, I would love to see that happen. I don't know if we have to call a special session for that, how that would go legally if we're just meeting, obviously, if we're all here. I mean, it's a meeting.
Right, it would have to be a meeting. Your issue there would be towing the line between what can be an open meeting and what would have to always be a closed, right?
If we split it up to where there wasn't enough for a quorum, we can show up for like different meetings that are there except for the ones that we have to come in. So if we want to go and visit for different meetings that they have within the city, and that's a good thing too, because that way we can get face to face with the other workers and stuff that are here to let them know, hey, we're not just here one night a week.
2 aldermen at a time.
Yeah, and
Yes.
then take what we get from, split up the departments and then, like that, yeah, I like that.
Rotate around.
Should we even do it like a bi-monthly
Do
to
it
keep?
however you'd like.
That'd be a lot, because right now we've got the budget to work
The
on.
budget's gonna be a biggie.
Budget, yeah.
And we're gonna meet, we are going to see the supervisors
Yeah.
and the department heads anyway coming forward to us. So
Yeah,
just
we-
one.
Yeah, we'll be busy with that right now.
Yeah.
But eventually, it's
Yeah.
excellent.
Hey, John, do you plan on hiring a city administrator? What are your plans for the city going
My
forward?
Plans
Or
as,
your ideas that you,
yeah, right, because it is up to the board.
yes.
And the board takes in, hopefully, everyone in town's considerations, what they want, what they like, what will work. The budget must be figured out
Amen.
so we know where money can come from first, before we can even make anyone an offer or an object or even tell them there's something available. We don't know if there's money available, we don't know if we're in trouble, if we can handle it. We're gonna, once we meet with all the department heads and work from there and figure out where we're at, I'm open to everything and anything that this board wants to do, because the board is representing you guys.
So we're planning on sort of a city audit before we ever get started on doing anything.
It'll be an internal audit regardless. Not that I trust or distrust anyone, just that we have to start and know where we're starting from.
Yes.
Start and stop.
I agree with that.
So, yes. And yes, at the end of the meetings, if time permits, I would like, just as we have already started, a little bit of open discussion with the audience, because that's hard to do, hard to get everybody together at any one time. So if you guys have input right now, I don't have a problem with it. If you guys want to stay a little bit with us, if you don't mind staying, I don't want to bore you, but, so, yes.
If we do an internal audit and there comes up some irregularities and stuff, would it be possible for us to figure out a way to be able to pay for an external audit? Like hire someone to come in and audit? Because I know from our previous administrations, you know, we had a city administrator, he misappropriated a lot of funds, and, you know, he signed off on some CDs and took the money out and funded the city with it. And I was just wondering, like, is it possible that we could get an outside source to come in if you guys find anything internally that you feel?
It is, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Everything's up for option, keeping in mind that we usually have, you can correct me, a firm that does our books, and they give us an internal audit, and they're paid, they're CPA, license, et cetera. They're not favoritism, they're not, you know, hiding anything. It's really external, if you want to say, because that, to me, that's all we should need. But any other type of audit, such as, like if it's mandated by anyone else other than our city, like from up above or something, they start at $60,000. And I witnessed one from another city. I have the audit right here. And for $60,000, what they had done was what our internal guy would easily do for us and give us the same results. It's really, at this point in time, if we found discrepancies, then we'd have to get someone else involved.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, is there a way
Then
for
we
the
would.
state to pay for that? Like if we use
State pays for nothing.
a state auditor?
They don't pay
No,
for
they
it.
won't.
We pay the state auditor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it don't matter, they're getting their money.
Even if we're in the right or in the wrong, it doesn't matter. If that audit goes in, we pay for everything.
I got you.
But yes, we'll pursue anything if there's any kind of discrepancies or anything, and we'll try to get them straightened out, and let's get going on with it. You know, we're not gonna sit here and dwell.
Move on.
We're gonna move on and do what we can, do with what we have, and we have a lot. That's what energized me, is this town has so much. We get so much money from the FAA for the airport all the time. People worry about the airport. But boy, we got money coming in every year. I won't say we have a hard time spending it, but we spend it on it, and it comes in. We have a golf course that has a possibility of bringing more income and or business to town, et cetera. We have 4 parks, you know. We have really decent school system, and that's the other thing I do want to bring up is we are always closed in and with blinders on city limits, yes. The people on the outside of the other line, they're our community too. Let's look out for them too. They're coming in here and helping us. They're part of this. They're using our facilities. They're spending their money. They're part of this community. I like to look at it as a community more than here's a line and you're on the other side of that line. It's not a big deal. We have to abide by the laws, what state law says, that's not a problem. But at the same time, when it comes to people and businesses, it's a community. And that's what I want to focus on with a business. I'll say, I have papers on it, I don't have it with me, I shouldn't say, but I'll say a lot of our businesses, owners, and even people that work in those businesses in town, are not even in town.
Yeah.
But to me, they're just as valuable as a person and business as the next person. So we've got to treat it as a community, jointly, just like the school. It's a big area of schooling. We have good schools here. We've got a lot. We've got a lot in this area that many other towns don't. And we have Highway 60, of course.
Yeah.
That's a big opening to the world. And then we have plenty of, now we'll have 5G US cellular. That's going to help businesses. It's going to help a lot of people. I I wish we had fiber all through the city. That would be the next big step. Well, if we could get that going, that would be,
Do you ever get our website up and running?
pardon?
Our website up and running for the city of Mountain View?
I actually worked with Abby, is she still with me? Abby and I actually worked on that this afternoon. So we actually hope tomorrow, I think, to be in a better place. She busted her tail for us this afternoon. So that is in progress.
I actually have someone that wanted to present fiber optics, and we just missed the ball on this meeting, so.
I want to address something else that I keep getting, and it's been here for a couple of days now, we're going on 20 years. If you hear rumors, something that's coming up and it spreads so bad, have them come into a meeting or get with one of us, so that way we can help and make it more open and transparent, so hopefully it stops a lot of that. Because the negativity for the town and stuff spreads, and we have a great town. We really do. But we got to stop all the misinformation and things that go forward. And asking questions is not misinformation. That's trying to find out where exactly everything is said. And by all means, I've been open for questions my entire life, and I don't think it's ever going to change. I don't know. Is it going to change? Those of you that have been around me since this talk. So
Murray, on that note, I agree with you and I appreciate that. Last administration did not float that well with openness. When you asked a question, we got shut down. And that was a problem with me because we appoint you guys. And if I ask a question, I want at least an answer that sounds somewhat right, you know, and not be told to shut up and sit down.
I guarantee you right now, that I'm going to offend people.
You offend me every day,
I,
man.
but I'm telling you, but it's not as a personal thing towards anything, and it's not an animosity type of thing regardless. But I will always give you the truthful answer, and that's usually, yeah.
No, but based off of the, you know, when we did meet the candidates, every one of you sitting up there right now were pretty open and honest about who you are. And that's what we need in this town, is we need people who are open and honest. I don't want people to tell me to sit down, that I don't know what I'm talking about. 90% of the time, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I need clarity.
I'm up here working for you guys.
So,
Exactly.
Yes, you got a question in the back.
Yeah, why don't you guys take turns and like have office hours?
Okay.
That's up to them.
You're gonna say, I work 8 to 5 and my husband and I run the rec soccer program, and then I have a very busy daughter involved in volleyball and soccer. Call me, leave me a message, I will respond to you, but it'll probably be after 5:30.
Well, yeah, but like he was talking about, you don't necessarily want your phone number public information. So if you want to keep your phone number secret, there's 2 little offices over there, like the second
Half the
Wednesday.
town already has my phone number, so I don't care who has it.
I'd love to do that, but I work about 70 hours
Yeah.
a week, so that would probably not be
Call-
very possible. But you're more than welcome to call or come see me, or I'll come find you.
And/or just call the clerk. The clerk will have that alderman that you want to talk to, definitely call you back. And I'm jumping the gun, that's up to you guys, but
No,
that's
like I
hopefully
said,
how we'll work.
half the town has my phone number already, so.
And if they talk back, call back to you and say, yes, let's meet at City Hall, yes, you guys will have an office to talk and goof off, whatever you want to do. Hopefully get something good to the order.
John, I would like to tell, we've got several of the city guys in here and ladies and stuff. When I went at this, we had a lot of individuals that was looking over their shoulder all the time. If you guys got a problem, come find me, it'll stay between us. But you're running this city, and we need each one of you. And I'm not looking for your job or anything like that, but, you know, we're your voice too, so come find us.
Now, as far as that's concerned, I gotta add to that. Go through the right channels. Go through your supervisor. If you're not satisfied, go around your supervisor, come to the next one in charge, until you get all the way to whoever's, can come to me, whatever it does. Then, if you're still not satisfied, I have to keep looking in the corner, because that's where I see the city guys, but I should look all around. But if you're still not satisfied, then definitely call your councilman. Boy, they can override me so fast. You've probably seen it in the last few months here and there. If the mayor can and will be overridden. Denny, please sit down. No.
About a year ago, I was called a sex offender by, it was a rumor that started, and since there was a lot of people here, I just want them to know that I'm not a sex offender, I'm not a fugitive, and that rumor is no longer spread.
I didn't hear the rumor, but okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. As long as we got that cleared up.
Yeah.
Mr. Steve.
I'd like to mention all the problems that I've been through the last few years. This is a great city, and I think this problem's out of the way at this point, but I think one of the biggest problems have been the lies. There have been, I hear this from numerous people. I have been lied to. I would lose count. And that, if Donnie or any of them had come over to me and discussed something straight up, I'm always willing to work with people. It's the lies that got, for me, where I am today. And but I respect every one of you, Murray, all of you, and I appreciate it. But in my opinion, there's a lot of people in this town that's been lied to, and that is what heats them up.
I'm sure we're all going to try to do our best at showing and saying everything is with the information we're provided. We're not going to, I don't believe any of us will intentionally lie. Everything will be based on fact, hopefully.
Well, if it's a politician, it's misinformation, not
Election's over, though.
Yeah.
Now we can tell the truth.
And I would like to add on to what you said earlier about the school district. I had actually been talking to a school board member, Shelley Mantell. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with who that is. And she even said herself, she's like, we need to start working more together. I'm more than happy to either get with Shelley and see what was discussed at school board meetings, or start going back myself to school board meetings, because honestly, I have a daughter in high school, so I need to be involved in that. But, and make a monthly report on what's happening at the school,
That'd be great.
just to
That'd be great. The more involvement, the
loop
better.
everybody in on what's going on. I don't know that I'd have much for you on some days, but
I plan on meeting with Dr. Christensen and discussing things. If there's something we can do for him and he can do for us,
yeah.
et cetera. I would love to see more interaction between all of us. It's all our tax money. It's all the same thing. It's everybody here that is putting into it, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, they come, they play baseball, softball, soccer, football, everything.
Something else that you could possibly get involved in too, we've got a lot of churches with a lot of youth that they've had youth programs here, picking up trash and doing something for the community betterment. If we could get them involved too, every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd like to address also the usage of the community center. If it's for a benefit, if it's for something that benefits the entire city, and I don't mean a garage sale, but if it's something that benefits and brings in things, we shouldn't charge people for it. It's going to be up to you guys to decide that, but this is my opinion, something to think about, that if it's going to bring in, what did they have, a spring fling recently? They had to pay to rent the hall to do it. That was for the community. That wasn't for profit. That was for the community. It was for everybody. What are we doing, paying taxes and then making them pay to bring in people for the community? So stuff like that I'd like to work on, coming up with a proposal.
Something for the city workers also. I have not seen a city gathering for thanking the workers, and I would like to put one together pretty soon to make up for the time that hasn't gone through. It used to be done every year in December. It used to be, but I still think that with the amount of shutdowns and the turnovers and everything else, it's something that needs to be done, if nothing else, to bring up the morale and show the support that we as a community have for you guys that are providing the services. So, it's been almost almost 2 years, I know, but over 2 years.
We had one when I was here the last time.
That was 3 years ago,
December.
4 years ago.
We've got to remember too, there was COVID.
Right.
It was a big scare
Yeah.
that slowed that down, but yes, I'm all for that. I hope we can put that together.
I will say the last ones we had though were, there weren't much,
No.
Yes.
so.
Yeah, we want to get everybody working together on the same page.
I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to RSMO 610-021. Did I get it right?
I think so, but which subsection?
It will be 3. For personnel. So that'll be for 3, right?
You got one more question?
Oh.
Yeah, before you close, I was wondering if I could just come up real quick and address some more things that I've kind of thought about on this beta, and just kind of let the new council members know kind of my concerns and thoughts on it. Would that be okay? Or does that need to be something?
We should have a town hall.
More likely, that would be the way to go.
Okay.
Personally, I would love it, town hall.
I agree with that.
But can we go into this without going on, nothing on the agenda?
If you make any sort of
can't
motions
vote.
or anything, right, you'll need to ratify them after.
Right, we can't vote, but we can discuss.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, from now on, it's always best to get it put on the agenda, but it's not like you guys really have the option for that before now, so.
Right.
It's up to you guys. You made a motion. Do we have a second?
Wait.
Oh,
Since you guys started back up the planning and zoning commission,
yeah.
okay, they're back to going. What's happened to Mr. Arnold, I would like to not see happen to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Okay, are you going to like
Update.
push it like ordinances and okay, this is how many feet we'll do, this is your hookup charge,
Yep.
we'll do 5 feet of road on either, you know,
Yep.
but everything has to be planned out, money, the whole 9 yards before we're gonna jump off and,
We're gonna work on the ordinance overhaul, adding ordinances mostly, and we're gonna work on employee handbook for the city, so there's,
Lots of
the
updating.
number one is we've gotta jump on this
The
budget.
budget, yeah.
But
oh yeah, I
those two
understand
things
that.
are gonna
but
be
I'm-
high priority otherwise,
Yeah.
as
The
well as.
ordinances so that somebody doesn't
Yeah.
Exactly.
occur there
That's
and
what I
says,
want,
well,
yeah.
you know,
That's what I
we'll
want
do
to
this
avoid.
for you, all you have to do is buy this, and then it's like, well, there's nothing in writing, I mean.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah, I don't ever want that to happen again.
No, and just so everybody understands, especially the council, we have a couple new people up here. I have always been and always will be willing to work with this city. I'm not here to say, get that sewer in, not at all. We had a great discussion, we came up with a great plan, and I think it's gonna work, but by all means, if it's not in the budget, then it'll have to wait. But I appreciate so much somebody coming in, sitting down and discussing it, instead of saying, we're gonna do it then, we're gonna do it now, and it never gets done. For the first time in 7 years, I had Laura and John come in and sit down and talk to me, and I told them right up front, if it's not in the budget, we'll stretch it out, we'll set up a contract, but hey, if we have to change it down the line, we change it. It's okay.
We're here to work with and for you.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. So I'm so glad this got done, so thank you very much.
Well, is there anything else before we go into, well, we didn't have a second, we have to have a second on the.
I was thinking Murray's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna go into closed session.
How you getting home?